right. All right, everybody. All right. We are on the Speak Your Truth with Mark Ross podcast. And it is a pleasure to be speaking with everybody once again. Uh, Tonight, I have a special guest. I'll call her special. Um, Her name is, and I'm going to say the name, okay? I'm going to say the name. This is Miss Anvita Ambardekar. Did I get it
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I got it right. Okay, good. So, uh, as you all know, the episode here for tonight talks about cyberbullying. And I spoke with Miss Mbardakar uh, on a particular platform to discuss uh, her ambitions and what she has going on, and she wanted to come on here and share her story and share what she has going on. So we agreed to make this thing happen. So here we are. And now that I laid a little bit of the groundwork, Anvita, tell us about who you are and what you do so we can get this all in context.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for having me. Super
Thank you.
excited to be on this podcast. Um, I am a high school student based in Southern California, and I volunteer or intern with a nonprofit called Digital for Good, X hashtag I Can Help. And our work is centered around digital safety and digital wellness. So we believe in the power of digital citizenship to create a safer online world for teens and young adults, and also just everyone who is using social media. Um, so we are a student-led and student-run nonprofit. So all of our content and curriculum is made by students for students. So
Mhm.
we hope that by providing a student perspective and kind of taking a peer-to-peer approach, we can reach more students and emphasize the importance of digital safety and digital well-being.
Okay, okay. Uh, and before I start the questions, I just want to let everybody know here that's on the chat or that will get on the chat on Facebook here that if you guys have any questions for Miss Anvita or even myself during this interview, please let us know. Please write the questions down, and I will read them off to her as we proceed with this interview. All right. So just want to let you guys know about that. Uh, let's get into this thing about cyberbullying because, and Vita, for me, I'm much older than you are. So people of my generation, we never experienced anything like this. So give us a breakdown about what cyberbullying is. I mean, you can say, I mean, it kind of speaks for itself, but put it in the context of someone your age, because somebody in my age doesn't really get the gist about that because it didn't happen to us. And our minds are a little differently wired than yours. So talk to us about what cyberbullying is and just make it plain for us.
Yeah, so obviously, most people, I'd say almost all people have been bullied at some point in their lives, but
Sure, sure.
cyberbullying is the online version of that. So, like nowadays, there's the online version of so many things. This is
Mm-hmm,
one of them.
mm-hmm.
And I think in my personal opinion, it's in some ways worse than call it traditional bullying because when you're online, you don't necessarily know who's behind that screen, and
Yeah,
someone's profile or username is not always 100% accurate, or there are a lot of types of online attacks and phishing and things like that. So it's a lot more kind of there's an unknown factor to it that makes it a little bit more scary because you don't know who's doing it, but at the same time, you can also put yourself in this mindset that because I don't really know who's behind that screen, so
Mhm.
why should I put any value to those statements, or why should I pay attention to what they're saying? Like, I don't know, it could be anyone.
Mhm.
Um, so there's definitely two sides to that.
Okay. How serious of an issue is that in terms of the online bullying?
It's becoming like increasingly prevalent, especially in teens, because people my generation are spending more and more time on their devices. Um, and every day there's new platforms coming out, TikTok, Instagram, more things like that. And a lot of them, like teens, are a target of cyberbullying because they spend so much time online and they're vulnerable to just any kind of incentive or kind of trap. So
Mhm.
they are the most targeted population. And um, about like I think about like 50% of students are online are cyberbullied
Mhm.
at a point in their life. And that number just keeps going up as, kids start being on devices and social media from a younger and younger age.
Mhm.
And cyberbullying is not necessarily limited to social media. It's most prevalent there, but things like video games and even like messaging platforms, you could be cyberbullied. I mean, it's probably less likely, but it can still happen.
Sure, sure. Um, have you ever dealt with uh blackmail online, or have you helped people who were going through online blackmailing?
I personally have not experienced that, so I'm actually not on social media. I don't have Instagram or TikTok. So that's where I kind of see that difference between me and my peers and
Okay.
how it affects them. Um, I do know like stories of people who have been blackmailed or attacked online. And I mean, obviously, there's also some stories that end up going viral and everyone sees them.
Sure, sure. Now, you're from California, right?
Yes.
Is cyberbullying a big issue over there?
Yes. I think especially I live in the LA area, so in bigger cities, I think it's just I would even say associated with the increased population, but um also kind of the number of kids who have devices at what age. So at least I think in my community, students do start getting devices when they're in middle school or sometimes even earlier than that.
Mhm.
And then as soon as they're on social media, it's that addiction and it's very hard to pull away from. And I mean, the students should know how to be safe online. Like if you're, limiting your screen time and making sure you're safe and not, posting too many public things, then it's totally fine. Like social media is a great tool that
Mhm.
connects people and you can see so many things and a lot of inspiration, but it's important to be educated, and that education is not there in a lot of schools and communities right now.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Now, you're with the organization that you're for, you're volunteering, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Have you encountered someone who was committing the act of cyberbullying during your time with the organization?
No, I actually haven't. We have a lot of students who come to us because they are like the victim of cyberbullying, but not the one doing the bullying.
Got you. Got you. Now, I know we spoke during our initial interview about this issue and how it can affect one's mental health. And we've talked about how cyberbullying can actually lead to people taking their own lives.
Yeah.
I read, well, I didn't read, I watched this article yesterday, as a matter of fact. It was a young kid. I forgot where it was from, but it was this was done. 2 years ago, and he was being victimized online, and he took his life. Uh, and again, I'm speaking on that because again, I'm talking about the difference between my generation and this generation, and I just have to get this off my chest because it's something that I've been thinking about.
Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it,
for
it's
sure.
hard,
And
it's hard to it's hard for me to let someone get me that down and out where I would have to, you know what I'm saying, do something to myself. Now, I again, I'm only speaking for me. If I was the so-called victim, I would do something to that person. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Miss Anvita. I would do something to them, but I would not do something to me because of what they're doing. We're gonna have a conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
so I,
um,
I, go ahead, go ahead.
right. I was gonna say, but like, unfortunately, the uh, like people, specifically young adults and teens who have been cyberbullied, are more likely to self-harm. And um, I mean, that's one of the effects that cyberbullying has on the young population.
Mhm, mhm. So, with that being said, Anvita, uh, can you give me an example, if possible, of when you had to assist someone that went through a mental health crisis due to cyberbullying?
I don't think I have personally assisted like on a one-on-one level someone who has like gone through a mental health crisis. Like usually within our organization when something like that happens. So when we receive a DM or a message from someone who has been cyberbullied and is reaching out for help, that's when we usually turn it over to our adult mentors, professionals, to kind of handle that.
Okay, okay,
So the students are not necessarily directly related with that.
okay. But you haven't personally had to help someone, you know what I'm saying, that had to deal with that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, okay, cool. Uh, with your organization, what strategies do you use to help fight cyberbullying?
And that's a big question. So um, we have a lot of different strategies, and it definitely depends on the age population that you're looking at. So middle school, elementary, high school, like high school and college. So we have like a lot of curriculum designed to educate students about what steps to take to prevent cyberbullying, um, what to do if they are cyberbullied, or even what to do if someone they know is being bullied. So, our main concept is that, you know, if you see, like, if you've ever seen a negative comment or someone being bullied online, not necessarily that you knew them, or maybe they were just an acquaintance, but at that point you can help. The question is, will you? So
Hmm,
you have the
hmm,
power to either report that
hmm,
post or comment and say, that, hey, this isn't right. You shouldn't be saying this. And so the question for most people is, will you? And it's not on like a broad scale. You obviously cannot report every single thing you see, but if it's someone you know or a friend, family member, just being able to kind of contribute to that culture that, hey, this isn't right, because anything you say on social media is going to, be there forever. Your digital footprint is something that's always there and it's not gonna go away. Even if it's deleted, it's still there somewhere. Someone could have taken a screenshot or done something like that.
sure.
So, you want to be careful what you're liking or even commenting on, because now you see all these cases where it comes back to people years and years later when they're trying to get a job or go to college.
Mhm.
And so you want to, if you see something wrong, and obviously if you're comfortable doing it, say that, this isn't right. And that small step can make a big difference for the person who is being targeted.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, before I continue, I just want to uh, thank you for doing what you do, um, especially, and it should be important for everyone to know. You're 16 years old, correct? And
Yes.
uh, for you at such an age, you could be doing all kinds of, teenager things, but you're doing this, and it takes a person with a big heart to do something of your caliber. So, um, I salute you, Miss Anvita. All right. So
Thank you very
I just want to
much.
say that right away because I'm listening to you, and I'm very impressed. Let's just put it to you that way. I'm very impressed with what you're doing, and thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Um,
And I mean, it's the reason is that people like you who give us this platform is how we can keep spreading our message and, educating more students.
yes, and I think that people need to be more aware of things like this because we are living in a digital age. So it goes back to what you were saying earlier about how everything is being online now. We shop online, we buy food online. Hell, we damn near buy homes online. I mean, so I mean, everything is just becoming electronic. So now we're witnessing this advent called cyberbullying, where you're getting bullied online, and you're getting name shamed, and you, you're getting abused. Is basically what it is. And like I said earlier too, I'm older. I don't condone abuse of any form or fashion. Let me just say that. My issue is that me as an older person would have a hard time allowing somebody to get me to that point online where I would have to do something crazy because all I have to do is turn this damn computer off. You understand what I'm saying? That's how
Yeah.
quick I can solve that problem. I can just turn this damn thing off. I can turn my phone off. I can go to another app. I don't have to entertain your BS. So
Yeah, and I
go.
think the solution is so simple. Like, delete the app for a little bit, just turn it off. But at the same time, it's so hard because a lot of people my age are think like social media is their life, and
Mm,
they kind of, start tying their self-worth to their number of followers or likes or comments and
hmm
things like that. And so uh, something else that we kind of stress is it's not just about educating the students, but also the parents and educators, so that everyone is on the same page. So, because students are the first ones to see it, they're obviously online for more time and in greater numbers
hmm
than parents and educators. So they see it, but when they see it, we want to make sure that they report it to an adult. And adults have experience with traditional bullying, and they've obviously seen that. So being able to turn to an adult and making sure that they're on the same page in terms of what safety features are tech companies coming out with, and also just how do you open up that conversation with your student about being safe online and making sure that they're safe online.
hmm What made you start this journey, Anvita?
So I actually our organization does presentations at schools across the country.
Across the
So I saw these presentations when I was in middle school, and then um before I started high school, I was like looking to get involved in something. So I was kind of like, let's just try this out. And then it definitely grew on me, and it's now my third year with the organization.
Nice, nice, nice. Uh, During our initial interview, Anvita, you said that you consider yourself a digital first responder. I don't know if you remember that, but I do. Break that down for me. What is a digital first responder?
Yeah, so this is kind of a term that we've coined for students, parents, who are educated about digital safety. So we want to educate people to be digital first responders. So, you have medical first responders who are they're the first to a scene, and they help, fix things up. So we want to be the same way online. Whoever is first to see a post or a comment, we hope that they can work to combat it. And just spread the message, tell their friends, hey, I saw this. It wasn't cool. Can you help me report it? Um, and we've seen this a lot of times where sometimes when a fake page or inappropriate page goes up
Hmm,
and one person sees it, tells all their friends to report it, it goes down within the same day. And that's where you can see like the power of a community of people who are digital first responders.
nice, nice. I'm going to read off. I'm going to read off a statistic, and then from there, I'm going to ask you this question. Okay. According to an article from the Journal of the American Academy of Psychiatry and the Law, and this was from February of 2023, the incidence of both cyberbullying and adolescent suicide are rising in the US. The CDC and prevention data shows that 14 or showed, I'm sorry, that 14.9% of adolescents have been bullied, and 13.6% of adolescents have made a serious suicide attempt. So, with that being said, do you think that your organization has made an impact on combating cyberbullying?
Yeah, definitely. So, we've been around for 10 years now. So it's a long time.
Yes.
And we see that impact even on us like individual level. So going to a school, oftentimes before we do a talk or a presentation, there is, a fake page about teachers or some kids. And then after that presentation, you see that that page is taken down and oftentimes replaced by something positive and inspirational. So sharing nice quotes or images or something like that. And I think that's where you sometimes see like the immediate impact. Um, and then over time, you can also just again see things are being taken down, and a lot of people are coming up with accounts that are just posting, spreading a positive message or just a little laugh or something like that.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, good. Excuse me. Uh, so so basically, the organization, you don't do any face-to-face meetings. Everything is done online.
So our like internship program is completely remote. We have events, like baseball games, with the All Rise Foundation, which is by Aaron Judge. And then we have an annual summit once a year. So we have a couple in-person events. But our team works completely remotely,
Mhm.
and then our presentations to schools and conferences are in person and virtual.
Okay.
So I guess we do like a hybrid approach.
Nice, nice. Okay. So, excuse me. So, what's next for you in your future, Miss Anvita?
Oh, I mean, I would love to continue working with this organization and just spreading the message, helping give these presentations and doing podcasts, continue to kind of just spread the message. Because it just takes, a couple minutes for someone to learn the basics about being safe online.
Hmm.
And after that, once you're educated, I think that like decreases your chances so much of being targeted. And it's not always easy for sure to identify when someone is trying to target you or, attack you online, but you can always just reach out and be extra cautious. And I think just increasing the prevalence of that would be so amazing.
Nice, nice. How can people reach you?
Yeah, so we have our Instagram is I can help official, and we're always open to DMs and looking for more interns, more schools who would love to have us speak, just anywhere platforms where we can spread our message. And our website is icanhelp.net.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I don't know, maybe you can like drop it in the chat later or something. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so you can just Google Digital for Good is our organization name, and hashtag I can help is our curriculum.
Hmm.
So we're kind of like in a branding transition, if you may call it that. But we're always looking for people to come join our family.
Nice, nice. Well, well, I don't have any more questions to ask of you, Miss Anvita. But I will say that I'm very impressed again with what you're doing, and I hope that everything that you plan on doing with your life comes to fruition. And I am very glad to have you on my show.
Okay.
I've
Thank you so
learned a
much.
little
I
bit.
mean, it was a
I've learned quite a bit from this topic this week.
oh, I mean, it's an honor being on your show. We it's because of people that like you that all this is possible.
Amen to that. And I'm going to keep spreading this message. So we there's people out there that need to hear what we got going on, and we got to give it to them.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if no, nobody had any questions to ask, so excuse me, I will end our podcast for this evening. Thank you again, Miss Anvita. And this has been another episode of the Speak Your Truth with Mark Ross. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, self-care is important. So please make your mental and physical health a priority every day and do it first. Have a good night, everybody. And have a good night, Miss Anvita.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, guys.